Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Wrestling podcast. I'm Slim, and once again, Kyle was not able to join us. And like I said, I'm looking for people to join me, but until then, it'll just be me. Hopefully, Kyle will be back next week. Not sure though, but yeah, I will also look for other people to join me as well. So this week we will kick off with Impact Rebellion Night 2. So Impact Rebellion Night 2 starts off with a video package welcoming us to Night 2. And then we go into a Fatal 4-way match, and it's Suicide vs Chris Bay vs Rohit Raju vs Trey Miguel. It was a very good fast-paced match. Chris Bay won after pinning Raju for the win. It was a good match. I think the night 2 was better than night 1, if I'm being honest. So yeah, but yeah, that was a good one to kick the show off, unlike last week's, because the 6-man tag last week to kick Rebellion off was a little bit boring. We then had a look at what happened last week, and then Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne said that neither Taya Valkyrie or Jordan Grace are at the show, so we won't get their match. They then run down the rest of the card. Then Matthews FaceTimes Tessa Blanchard, who says Michael Elgin isn't going to be Impact World Champion at the end of the Rebellion because she's not there to lose the belt. We then get Joseph P. Ryan, or Joey Ryan, versus Cousin Jake. It was a good match, but Joseph P. Ryan won the schoolboy, and he also grabbed the ropes while he did it. After that, we get Havoc versus Rosemary in a Full Metal Mayhem match. During the match, Nevaeh arrives and is standing in the empty crowd. Nobody knew who it was. Madison Rayne kept saying, I know who that is, but didn't tell us what the guy was or anything. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a good match. Rosemary won after hitting Havoc in the head with a lead pipe that looked plastic. But she had to do it twice before she was able to pin Havoc. We then get a recap of the promo from last week with Willie Mack and Rich Swann. Then we see the end of Rebellion 2019, and by that I mean the end of the Sami Callihan-Rich Swann match, where Swann won the X Division title. We then get a backstage interview with Michael Elgin, who says he's disappointed that he can't beat Blanchard and Edwards up, but he's still going to win the Impact World title tonight. Then Michael Elgin comes out for a match, even though his opponent's not at the show. Elgin cuts a promo saying that he's going to be world champ. As Elgin gets announced as the new champ, Moose arrives with the old TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Moose then says that he feels Elgin's pain, but he is a world champion, and he sort of challenges Elgin to a TNA championship match. And as Elgin goes to accept, they're interrupted by Hernandez, who makes a triple threat. So technically we get a world title triple threat match for the main event, which is up next. So it's the main event, and it's Michael Elgin versus Hernandez versus Moose for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, sort of. It was never confirmed that it was a title match, but I think it is. Moose says that he's the champion anyway. It was a really good match. Moose won by pinfall over Hernandez after hitting a no jackhammer needed spear. Like I said, Moose then says that he's the TNA World Champion and makes the announcer announce him as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So maybe they brought that back. I don't know. But it was a good match. I enjoyed it. We'll move on to Raw. The show then starts down with a rundown, and Joe's on commentary. And the first segment of the show is the VIP layout. MVP introduces the participants from the Raw men's side of the Money in the Bank ladder match to the VIP lounge. MVP asks what it means to win the Money in the Bank. He answers the question for Ray and Aleister Black, and then hands the mic to Cruz, who gets interrupted by Zelina Vega, Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. We then get Rey Mysterio, Apollo Crews, and Aleister Black versus Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory with Zelina Vega. It was a good match, back and forth, but Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory had control for most of the match. It was back and forth, but they had control for most of it. The end came when everyone took each other out. Andrade then went for the Hammerlock DDT on Cruz, but he got out of it for the pop-up powerbomb for the win. We then have a look at Triple H's 9th and 10th best moments, I guess. Then backstage, Andrade and Vega are arguing. When Andrade is asked what happened in the match, Andrade says no one can beat him for the title. Cruz walks up and says he can beat Andrade for the title tonight. Andrade and Cruz have some words before Apollo slaps Andrade, and Vega says that Cruz has the match later. We then get a recap of what happened between Drew and Rollins over the past few weeks, and then we get a look at Triple H's 7th and 8th best moments in his career. Then it's Asuka versus Baszler versus Nia. But before the match, Asuka cuts a Japanese promo. And before the match starts, Baszler attacks Asuka. And the match doesn't happen at all after that. But Nia stands tall. She didn't injure anyone this time, I don't think. If she did, it wasn't as bad as what she normally does. We then get a video package where Lashley asks Lana not to come out to the ring with him because her beauty is distracting. Then we get Bobby Lashley versus Denzel Dejournette. It was a squash match. Lashley won by pinfall after the spear. Then we get a recap of what's been happening between Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. Then we get Liv Morgan versus Ruby Riott. It was a short match. Liv won with the Oblivion, which is her thing where she jumps onto the ropes and hits the flatliner. Post-match, we get an interview with Liv, who was asked if this is a new chapter. She says she's going to figure out who she is, so I guess it is a new chapter. I don't know. But we then get Triple H's 6th best moment in his career. We then have an interview with Nia, who says she says that nobody can do anything about her actions earlier tonight, and that was it. We then get the Viking Raiders talking about wanting the Raw Tag titles, and that the Profits have never beaten the Raiders, and that the only times that the Profits have won belts is when the Raiders haven't been there. And the Raiders also say that they want the smoke. We then get Triple H's 5th best moment in his career. And then we get Akira Tozawa versus a returning Jinder Mahal. It was a squash match for Jinder. He won with the class. And that's bad, because it's Jinder. It's Jinder. He's back. That's bad. But then Charlie Caruso tries to interview Andrade again, but Vega has a go at her and walks away. Garza then shows up and asks her on a date, which she accepts, even though Garza's married. And that was a very big point that was made on NXT when he won the Cruiserweight title. So, a little bit weird, a little bit forgetting what happened on NXT. But then we get Triple H's 4th best moment in his career, and then the US Championship match between Andrade with Zelina versus Apollo. It was a very good back and forth match. Wasn't quite as good as Andrade's matches with Ray, because that's always sort of the standard for an Andrade match, really. Or, it's sort of the best of what he's done. But yeah, it wasn't quite that good, but it was really good still. Andrade won after referee stoppage due to Apollo's knee giving out. We then get Triple H's third greatest moment in his career, before a Street Profits backstage promo, and they address the Viking Raiders. Profits say that they accept the challenge for next week. We then have a look at Becky Lynch's rise to the top, and they even show the end of the Mania 35 main event. And then here's a little bit of a weird thing. The main event is next, which is Cedric and Ricochet versus Ever-Rise, which is pretty much a squash match. It's a glorified squash match as your main event. Ricochet and Cedric won after they hit their tag finisher. Cedric got the pin. Don't know how much time. After the match, MVP says he's now managing Shane Thorne and Brandon Lee. So, I think they've been called up now. I do think they've been called up to the main roster now that MVP said he's managing them, which is weird. So that was the main event. We then get Triple H's second greatest moment in his career. So that shows you how much of the show is left with no matches. We then see Cruz. He's on crutches and refuses to take part in the interview. He has officially been taken out of the Money in the Bank now, too. As of now, sort of thing, Sunday, yeah. We then get another recap of the Rollins-McIntyre stuff. And then we see Triple H's greatest moment in his career, which I believe was the return to them to Rumble. To close the show, we get the contract signing between Rollins and Drew. Jerry Lawler is conducting the signing. Drew gets in the ring, tells King to leave. He then tells Seth that he's full of shit. He then offers Rollins some pieces of advice before attacking Rollins. He hits a Glasgow kiss before Murphy attacks Drew to help Rollins. Rollins sidesteps a Claymore, which Murphy takes. And yeah, then the show ends pretty much after that. We'll move on to AEW Dark. Dark starts with Sean Dean versus Jimmy Havoc. It was a decent match. Dean got some offense in, but Havoc won by pinfall after the Acid Rainmaker, then a Fisherman's DDT. And then the main event is Musa and Lee Johnson versus Best Friends with Orange Cassidy. Good match. Best Friends won by pinfall with the Strong Zero. Move on to Dynamite, and the show starts with a video package on why Darby and Cody are going to need to win their semi-final match. We then go to commentary, and Tony and Jericho run down a card. First match of the night is a semi-final match in the TNT Championship Tournament between Cody and Darby Allin. It was a great match. The finish came when Darby reverses the coffin drop from Cody, hits his own coffin drop, but Cody slightly rolls when he's being pinned, so his shoulder comes up off the mat, but both of Darby's are down. Sort of like Darby had too much momentum when he went into the pin and sort of pinned himself, sort of thing. We then get another Scorpio Sky video package, and he talks about joining SCU and what it means to be in AEW. MJF then gives us a video update on his life-threatening hangnail injury. He says that it's over-healed, like it's as good as, it's better than everyone else's recovery from a hangnail. It is just so good. It's like 150% healed. But he has another injury, and that injury is life-threatening. He cut his neck when he was shaving, so he's going to be out for ages. It might need surgery. I'm not sure. I'll keep you updated. I might even do a news video later in the week if he's going to be alright for it. Who knows? We then get MJF, not MJF, Musa. I was reading the wrong thing. We then get Musa versus Wardlow. It was a squash match. Wardlow won with the F10. Yeah. Episode 3 of the Bubbly Bunch next. Very fun episode. Jay and Silent Bob were on, Fluffy was on, Vicky Guerrero. I'm pretty sure Chris Jericho's dad was on there. There was heaps of people. It was great. Check that out. It's on YouTube. Up next, we get Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford versus the Best Friends with Orange Cassidy in a no count out, no DQ match. Very fun, great match. Best Friends won after Orange took out Ford and Kip and distracted Havoc enough that Chuck Taylor could hit a pile driver of sort. It was a weird one. He had him up in a reverse power slam and then hit a pile driver for him there onto a bunch of chairs. Then we get another Britt Baker video package. She's in a dental office this time, and she also goes through another rule of being a role model. Then we get Shawn Spears versus Baron Black. It wasn't a squash match, but it was a glorified squash match, I guess. He was always going to win, but it wasn't exactly a squash match. Match was good. Spears won by submission after hitting the C4. You know, he hit the C4, locked in sharpshooter. Got to have it. Taz then discusses Lance Archer's blackout finisher. Then we get a video package for Marco Stunt. Then we get Marco Stunt versus Brody Lee in a squash match. Brody Lee won with the sit-out powerbomb. Moxley then has a video package promo saying that he's thankful for a lot of things and he's going to be live on AEW next week. Moxley also gives some life lessons to the end, including video calling your grandmother. We then get Tony and Jericho running down next week's card. Then it's the main event, and it's Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes in the TNT Tournament Semi-Finals match. Great match. Archer wins by pinfall after he beats Dustin senseless, and QT Marshall and Cody come out to ask if Dustin wants to throw the towel. But Archer then grabs Dustin in the EBD claw grip, bashes Dustin's head into the ground multiple times, and gets the pin from there. We'll move on to NXT, which starts with a video package on the Interim Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. We kick the show off with Swerve versus Phantasma in the Cruiserweight Tournament match. It was a good match, very fun, and came out of nowhere. Swerve was going for a move on the ground, and he was going for a move on the ground, and then out of nowhere locked in a crucifix. It was weird and cool and out of nowhere. We get a post-match interview with Swerve, who says he's got one match left in the bracket and he'll win the belt because it's Swerve's house. Back in the break, and Dijakovic challenges Gargano for a match next week. Then the kidnappers attempt to kidnap Phantasma again, but can't. We then get Candice LeRae versus Kacy Catanzaro. During LeRae's entrance, Gargano does her introduction. It was a decent match. It was a glorified squash match. then Candice was always going to win. Like, that's why it was a glorified squash match. She was always going to win because she's only just turned heel. Candice won with the Wicked Stepsister. After the match, Candice fakes leaving, only came back and locking Damian escape. Damian Priest is then backstage and says later he's going to take the North American title from Keith Lee. And then we get Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher, and they're going to prove that they're the best tag team ever, apart from Riddle and Dunn, obviously, but other than that. And they're going to do that on Riddle's new game show called The Newly Bros Show. Saxton is the host. I don't know why. They could have picked anyone else, because pretty much anyone else, as long as it wasn't David Otunga, is better than Byron Saxton. They get all the Riddle and Thatcher get all the questions correct in a weird way, sort of like the question is open enough that what they say is correct, but it's not in the way that they're saying it. Riddle then starts talking drugs because they were going into the speed round, but speed isn't Matt Riddle's thing, as he is about to say that his thing is weed. They get attacked by Fabian Upright and Marcel Bartel. Thatcher takes the upper hand, but eventually numbers don't catch up and they hit the European bomb on Thatcher. Adam Cole is then backstage and says next week Regal wants him to defend his title against Dream. Then we get Mia Yim vs Charlotte. Mia imitates Andrade's rope pose to insult Charlotte at one point, which, for the insiders, obviously, it was like, oh, I see what you're doing there. For other people, it would have just been, okay, whatever. But, yeah, I knew it was, so I thought it was good. The match was alright. Wasn't that good. Wasn't that bad either, but it was alright. It was a typical Charlotte and Mia Yim match. But I don't think either of them are the best at wrestling, and their matches to me are never that great. There are some times when they get put up against another opponent that can do really, really good work, where the matches are good, but yeah, it was just alright. Charlotte won by submission with the figure 8. Post-match, Io comes out and confronts Charlotte and says next week Charlotte is Io's. We then get a Karrion Kross and Scarlett video package which says they'll be on NXT next week. Then back from break and we see Casey being checked by the doctors. We also get a recap of what happened to Balor last week, and he's going to be on NXT next week too, so it's a very, very packed show next week. We then get Dexter Lumis vs Shane Thorne, which I guess this is Thorne's last NXT match. It was a decent match. Thorne got some offense in, but Lumis hit a spine buster, then a sit out Uranagi before locking in the Contra Gantame for the submission win. The Contra Gantame is his triangle anaconda vice choke thing that he does. Yeah, it was a glorified squash match. You knew that Thorne was going to lose, but I guess he's going to Raw, so yeah. We then have a look at an exclusive from last week where Atlas is talking to Maverick. After the break, Keith Lee says he's not at 100% due to having a bruised larynx from the nightstick attack that Priest gave him last week. Lee also says he's going to beat Priest and give him the beating of his life. Up next is Drake Maverick vs Tony Nese in a Cruiserweight Championship tournament match. Very one-sided start for Nese, who just keeps beating Maverick down every time he gets up. Drake starts the comeback and wins by pinfall after a wheelbarrow bulldog from the top rope, which was cool. Post-match interview with Maverick, who says he's not going to lose to Kushida. And I believe that, provided Maverick wins, then I think Tony Nese needs to beat Jake Atlas and Maverick's to win it. So we'll have to wait and see. I hope Maverick wins it. Main event time, and it's Damian Priest versus Keith Lee for the North American Championship. Very good match. Match comes to an end when Priest attempts to use the nightstick, gets hit with Grizzly, Magnum, and 2 Spirit Bombs for the pin. Yes, he would have been disqualified if he had used the nightstick, but he distracted the referee with the North American title. He chucked it in the ring and hit the nightstick, then got the ring and attempted to use the nightstick. Then Grizzly Magnum, Spirit Bomb, 1, 2, 3. We'll then move to NXT UK. This week's NXT UK is just old matches. There's 2 never before seen matches, which are Toni Storm defending the NXT UK Women's title against Deonna Purrazzo, and Shayna Baszler defending the NXT Women's title against Isla Dawn, but they are old matches, and we know who won them. So if you want to see it, then go and watch it. But it doesn't matter because, we know who won them because we've seen when Toni Storm dropped the NXT UK title and Baszler dropped the NXT Women's title. So yeah, we'll move on to SmackDown. Show kicks off with Daniel Bryan cutting a promo on the Money in the Bank ladder match. He talks about winning it and winning the world title after cashing in his Money in the Bank. He also calls out Corbin, who comes out and shows him beating Gulak last week. Corbin then says he's going to win Money in the Bank again. Bryan and Corbin go back and forth before Corbin says he's going to teach Bryan a lesson. We then get King Corbin versus Daniel Bryan. It was a really good match. The match ends when Corbin threw a ladder at Bryan to cause the DQ. Post-match, Corbin goes for an end of days on the ladder, but Bryan reverses it into the yes lock on top of the ladder. He has that locked in until Nakamura hits a Kinshasa, and Cesaro also comes down to attack Bryan. Corbin then throws Bryan off the stage into a lot of ladders. Strowman is out next, and he says that the past is the past, and he's about to say what he'll do at Money in the Bank, and the Firefly Funhouse cuts him off. Bray is reading a story called The Black Sheep. Braun cuts Bray off and tells him to come down in the ring. Bray says bye, and that's it. He does not come to the ring. That's it. We then get Sheamus versus Leon Ruff. It was a squash match. Sheamus won by pinfall after the brew. We then get the 4th chapter in Jeff Hardy's promo package thingo, the Jeff Hardy story they're calling it. We then get Carmella vs Mandy Rose in the Money in the Bank qualifying match. During the match, Sonya comes out and starts talking to Mandy, and she eventually distracts Mandy by saying she's going to come down in the ring and fight her. That allows Carmella to hit Super Kick for 3 count. Match was okay. After the match, Sonya attacked Mandy. We come back from break, and Mandy's getting checked out by the doctor. Otis comes in to check on Mandy. As he leaves, Ziggler walks up to him and asks if she's okay before he leaves. New Day are out next, and they are fighting the Forgotten Sons. Before the match starts, Miz and Morrison come out during commentary. It was a good match. Suns win after Riker takes out Big E on the outside. Cutler and Blake then hit their tag finisher on Kofi for a 3 count. We then get a backstage interview with Tamina, who says no one can beat her before Sasha shows up and starts talking to her. So she does that, and then Bayley attacks her from behind, so apparently they're not, Sasha's not hating Bayley again. They then beat up Tamina 2-on-1 until Lacey shows up. All four need to be broken up after that. Sonya then shows up and talks to Ziggler. Ziggler says he'll beat Otis. Then he also says that he'll win the Money in the Bank. And you'll also win the World Championship again. No, not the World Championship, but obviously the Universal one, I guess. But, yeah. Dolph also says that when Sonya's done with Mandy, he's done with Otis, he'll take Mandy from Otis, essentially. It's main event time. Otis versus Ziggler in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Pretty good match. Otis won by pinfall after hitting Caterpillar. So Otis is in Money in the Bank. I don't think he's going to win it though. We'll move on to 205 Live. And this week's 205 Live is another clip show, and it features the two matches that made the Singh brothers. They chose the Texas Tornado Tag Team match against the Lucha House Party they had on 205, and the Iron Man match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12. So that is this week in wrestling. It was a decent week. I am looking forward to Money in the Bank, which is tomorrow week, so 8 days away. Which obviously means that it won't come out next week, the review for it, because I film it on Sunday and Money in the Bank's on the Monday following, so you'll have to wait 2 weeks before you get Money in the Bank. But next week I'm also thinking of doing my predictions for the show. I've got a system already that I'll do for predictions, but yeah, I might record them, put them up, and see what happens. And also, like I said, I am going to look for somebody to replace Carl until he can come back. I was also thinking that instead of saying replace, it's more they'll join me, and then when Carl comes back, we'll just do a 3-person breakdown for the week. So, yeah. Other than that, thanks for watching or listening, and goodbye.